Hello there, this is Pika10, and welcome to your 30th Roblox Lua scripting tutorial. Now first we're going to start off with a scripting showcase. We have a model, the only model this week, there were other models but not included this time, is by a person, Crasher1231. And we're going to go Tools, Test, Play Solo to work out, to see what this model actually does. So, it is this red brick, it's titled Head in the Workspace, in Explorer even. Oh, a brick appeared down there, and it's randomly moving up and down. We'll all be dead by the time I read this. I wasn't. The brick... just kidding. I wouldn't kill you, but I dare you to jump. Okay. Well, that was dramatic. I'm assuming that's it. Troll loop kill for the win. You didn't loop kill me. Okay, let's see the script and see what's gone wrong. Well, first of all, the part is in a completely random location. That is, especially on my map, it just spawned off the map. And most people's maps, it will spawn off the map. You have to have it relative to head, so you don't want it to spawn in a random location. You could just go script.parent position there. A random position, you should anchor it immediately, because as again, it will just fall down and squish everyone and ping off the map. So anchor it immediately. The size, okay, I'm assuming that's what you want it to be. Then it removes the head, okay, waits 2 seconds. Then it randomly moves it. I don't know why you decided to move it. If you want to move it 15, then you want to move it either +1 each time, or, yeah, you want to do it +1 15 times. You don't want to set it, because at the moment it's going to go +1, then +2, then +3. It's not going to set it to 1, 2, 3, it's going to go +1, +2, +3. Now we're going to the next bit. You have to wait 4 seconds after you've read that. Then it sets up a mesh, which should make it into a circle, which also it sets it again to a random position for some reason. Why is it like doing things to random positions? I don't know. Where does it even create the mesh? Okay, first of all, don't do this as well. You want to either make something like local m equals the mesh, because remember, Roblox could change the names of what the mesh spawns as. You generally don't want to rely on names of things like this. You want to do the relative to things, so it's not so bad though. You're going to set the size that anchored. Now you anchor it. You want to anchor it way before it. Then you make it small, make it transparent to 0.5. Not entirely sure what you're trying to do. Then you set up something which means it kills everyone who touches it, except it's disappeared already because it's fallen off the map. It increases the size again, so I'm assuming you want it to appear and just squish everyone and kill everyone, but that means I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to do. But at the moment, if you fix the positions, that box would expand and squish everyone immediately. Okay, so even though it's not entirely working just yet, it's not that far off, it's just a positioning that's kind of out. So made by Crasher1231. If you send me a t-shirt for 200 Robux, I will give you the 200 Robux, or you can go for 220 Robux, because Roblox equals 10%, and I'll pay the extra, because I am rich. Now, we're going to go into the mini-games, and I have received 3 mini-games, 2 of them which are broken. Now, I knew they were broken without testing them, just by looking. No typos, without brackets, some things are spelt wrong. They were just those kind of errors. I'm not going to fix them for you in the mini-games. These are things that you have to do. You get 750,000 Robux if your Builders Club for them, so you should probably fix them before they come to me. So I've only got one this time, and this one is hops. Now if I just show it to you, this is the mini-game. There's not going to be any point in testing it, because it is literally just jump, 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 and that will take about like the entire tutorial for me to actually complete it without falling off. Now we're going to look at the script. The script, as you see, is exactly the same as my one here. He did point out, however, that I have print 3 instead of wait 3 inside here, inside the main script. So where in the scripts that you may have done when copying me, you might, if you haven't been paying attention, put print 3, which it was before, when in fact it should be wait 3. So thanks for pointing it out, as I added in the comments. So this person, Sergeant Mayday, wins 750 Robux, as it is exactly the same, even though you pointed out that it's only 750 Robux. The other 2 people, one of them might have got 1,000 Robux, but it was still broken, so I'm not sure. But you get 750 Robux. You can sell it for 825 Robux by adding 10% if you want. Remember, before I go into the tutorial, remember you can send me these mini games or scripting showcase. Scripting showcase can be any model you've learned how to script by watching the tutorial to get 200 Robux and analyze the script and show it to people. And if you send me in a minigame, it may be published in a final game. If you can have people sending stuff in, the game will be actually fairly good. We'll have lots of minigames. We'll start publishing minigames, see how well it does, see how fun it is to play. You'll also get 750 Robux if the script is fairly similar to the one I have already, or achieves the same effect. You'll get 1,000 Robux if the script is different and it achieves a cool effect. Like you could have a completely different game, because at the moment this one is just as soon as you touch the block, someone wins. That's it. And it also has a timer in the script as well. So that is the contest section over. We're going to go on to the scripting tutorial now. After all, I'm going to move hops back into lighting. And now this, as I said in the last tutorial, what we're going to be doing now is actually going to be making a tool. Now the tool is not going to be a gun or a sword, because they involve some slightly advanced features which I'm not going to go into, but I am going to explain how to make a tool, and you can work out how to make the sword animation moves, because the reason I'm not doing it, guns involve some maths which I don't want to explain now, and I may explain in a later tutorial, but a lot of you might not understand it. You may need to wait to work it out for yourself. And the swords will involve character animation, where you have to move, well, not really animation, but character moving, and I'm not going to go into that now either. So I'm going to make a simple tool, but you can edit it to your own standards. Also, it's going to show you some advanced, well, not so much advanced, but some features of what you can do. So, first of all, I'm going to explain to you about the differences between tools and hopper bins. Basically, hopper bins are tools that have slightly different events and do not require you to use a handle. Now the handle is the physical part which you're going to see, but however hopper bins I think are going to become deprecated. I'm not sure if they already are. That means they're not going to be improved anymore. You shouldn't really use hopper bins much. They're very old. You should be using tools, even though you have to use a handle with them. It's not too much of a big deal. The handle is a physical thing, so every tool that you use, which looks like a tool, when you select it, your hand doesn't move upwards. That's a hopper bin. If it does move upwards, it's a tool. There's the simple test if you're playing a game. So we're going to insert a tool first of all. A tool, if you give the tool to someone in their backpack, it will appear in their backpack, not selected. When they select it, it will immediately be equipped into their character model. So the tool's parent will be their character model. It will be inside their character model. If you put it straight away into their character model, it will appear in their model selected, and if they deselect it, it will go straight into their backpack as normal. Now you can use local scripts with tools. The reason for this is that local scripts only work when inside the player's backpack, the player's model, or the player's player GUI. So if you're making a tool or a GUI, you can use local scripts. Now local scripts, the scripts inside them only run on the client. Now the client is the machine that the person is running off. The client is simply the machine. So this is my client. All other scripts, like this main one here and all the ones in the minigames and these two, will be running on the server. Now obviously they affect your client in ways. For example, your computer has to display different scenes and your computer has to change things on for your computer, but the scripts run on the server, which obviously slows down the server the more scripts running. So you have to have lots of scripts running on the server, obviously, because local scripts only affect the player. They only affect that single player, which means you can't do any big map changes or anything. You can only do stuff for that single player. So local scripts are good, for example, tools, because they only affect the single player, unless you're going to fire something, and when you fire something you need to switch to a normal script, which is what this does. As you can see, it's got a local script for the thing that only affects the player, and then two server-side scripts, which I'll refer to as normal scripts. So we're going to insert a local script first of all. Where's a local script? There's a local script. Okay, so the first thing, I'm not going to name the local script. Now, tools work simply by events. Well, as everything does. You want something to happen when the tool gets selected, you want something to happen when the mouse is clicked, etc, etc. So to make something happen when the tool is selected, we don't actually want anything to happen when the tool is selected, obviously. You don't want to select the tool, everyone dies. No, that's not what you need to happen. What actually needs to happen, to get the player's mouse, which you need for other stuff, such as detecting what's been clicked, to get the player's mouse, the tool needs to be selected and the selected event needs to run. So just as, remember, if we're doing a touch function, it has hit, and this is the thing that, this is the brick that touched a part. If we're doing an equipped function, mouse, it passes a mouse. So this is the player that equips its mouse, and the mouse is an object. I'll bring it up from the wiki, I think, that's a good idea. Not RC. dot that. So what is it? Mouse. So these mouse actually has a surprisingly large amount of robux. So as you can see here, it passes mouse, and in the mouse you can do all of this kind of stuff, including detect when button 1's down, button 1 released, button 2's down, button 2's released with the mouse down, where there's a key down, keyed up, where it moves, all of this stuff, where it's hit, the icon, the origin, the target for the target server, etc, etc. You can do all of that stuff. Now first of all, what we're going to do in here is this script is going to be one for changing the cursor. So to change the cursor, we're going to have to change, as you saw in the property, there is a property to do that for. So we're going to set up the equipped event. Now the equipped event, as I showed you just now, this is how you work out the events, by the way. You look on to, no, haven't actually shown you just now, I apologise. This is what I'll show you, this. So there's the equipped event. These are all the events that you can use. The equipped is the one we're going to be using. So to do this, we just set it up as any normal event. So this is our function that we want to be run, script.parent, which is the tool, dot equipped connect equipped. And because, if I show you the equipped again, it passes an argument mouse. So that means this will actually be the mouse that the players clicked with. So whenever this object gets equipped, the mouse will be selected. Now what do we want to happen when the mouse is selected? We're going to... What did we want to do again? Oh yes, we wanted to change the cursor's image. So to do that, I'm going to keep referring to the wiki, because this is how I show... Yes, this is how you can work out doing things yourself. So to change your mouse's cursor, click on the mouse, go, oh, which property looks like cursor? Icon. We're going to change the icon, sets the mouse's icon. Now this means it's a property, which means there's no function for it, you just press dot icon. Now you may be wondering, how can you set what can you set it to? Now we're going to set it to some Roblox specific resources. So I can go into the equipped function here and go and set up something to happen whenever the mouse is clicked. So as soon as it's equipped, we want to change the cursor icon to something. Now, to find out what to change this cursor icon to, I'm going to just look in some other script. This one should have it. Here we go. Arrow cursor. This sounds like a good one. Cursor this. Oops. Don't any of that. So this is what we're going to have at the moment. So as soon as it gets equipped, we're going to set the mouse's cursor to this. Actually, it probably was correct, but like the code had in before. The mouse.icon. So it's going to set it immediately to an arrow cursor. Now it's going to wait. No, it's not going to wait. We're going to actually, as soon as the mouse has been clicked, we're going to change it to some reload. I wonder if that's the reload thing is. Arrow cursor, arrow far cursor. Close enough. We're going to take, not going to copy it, we're not going to cut it, I'm going to close that down. So whenever this is clicked, we have to use a function button 1 down, and that fires, well, the event button 1 down. The event button 1 down fires whenever the mouse is the first button has been put down. So function button 1 down mouse. Now as you see from here as well, if I go back onto the mouse, the button 1 down function does not actually have mouse as an argument. So what we're actually going to need to do, because we have mouse here, we can pass it to it ourselves. So what we're going to do is mouse.button1down connect. Now instead of directly naming the function button1down, we're going to create a function inside here, as we've done before, and then whenever this function is going to run, and whenever this function is run, this function is going to run this function, and then we can pass it an argument to it as so, because we've already got it here. So we're going to end that that has the correct amount of brackets. So now this is going to have the mouse each time. So whenever you click, you want the mouse's cursor to change, which is the mouse icon, to this arrow far cursor. I have no idea what that is. I'm not sure if that's actually a reload cursor or not. I don't think it is, but okay. You can find the textures yourself. Now we're going to wait a few seconds. Let's say 5. Let's say our reload time for this weapon is 10 seconds. Then we want the mouse icon to change back to this. Now we're going to end. Now also we need a debounce. So what's going to happen otherwise is that whenever you select it, it's going to change to this. You click, it'll change to arrow far cursor. It'll wait 10 seconds, changes to arrow cursor. Then you click, but you can click again anytime between that, and then this will keep running, and it'll go all glitchy, and you don't want this. So you want a debounce. Now I've showed you this before. You just set a variable. Let's put the variable up here. So local enabled is true. Local, not anything else actually. So if it's enabled, then we're going to disable it for the duration of this period. Enabled equals false. Oops, we want to go back to true. So as you can see, whenever someone clicks, if it's already enabled, it starts as enabled, it sets it to false. Now if anyone clicks it before it's set back to true again, it won't work because it has to be enabled for this bit of the script to run. Now on the end of this bit, it'll get set to true again, so after 10 seconds it'll have reloaded. So the arrow far cursor is probably not the reload thing, as I've already said, but whatever. So it's whenever we click, it's going to go, then it goes there. But so now we want to create a non-local script because we want to affect something else other than just the player. We want to do stuff to other players because otherwise it's a bit of a useless weapon. So this weapon I'm going to do is just simply going to click on another player, and that player is going to lose some health. That's fairly simple, I know, but it's what we're going to do for this tutorial. At least you'll know how to make tools. So after we've got our GUI working, we have to remember the reload time is 10. We're going to go to here, insert a script, and do exactly the same thing again, except this time it's not on a local script, so we can do stuff that's on the server and to other players rather than just affecting our own player. So this will do exactly the same. Function equipped. I say so too much, don't I? Function equipped mouse. We want to get the mouse because we want to know what the mouse has hit. Let's just create that here. We're gonna do exactly the same. Now there is an additional event that I haven't talked to you about, which is also commonly used within tools, and that is the activated. Now the activated event fires whenever the mouse is clicked. Now we're not going to use that because the activated event does not actually give the mouse as an argument. We could, I suppose. There's two ways of doing it. Actually, they're pretty much exactly the same. This way, we could do exactly the same as the last way, and then create some function, button one down, mouse click, so mouse.button one down, like exactly like the last one, and then connect it to button one down function. Or we could do script.parent.activated, connect it to some activated function, and then, well, not exactly like that, and then we'll create another function, and then go activated, and then also have the mouse. So for the purpose of this, I'm actually going to use the activated function, contrary to what I first thought, because I haven't showed you it yet. So, go create another function, activated mouse. When it's equipped, we're going to set up the activated function, so someone has messaged me on Steam. No, they haven't. An event started. How good. Now I've changed my mind again. I'm going to use the button one down function. Just looks better. I'm sorry. So now we're going to just set up this mouse dot button one down connect function button one down mouse. So that's going to pass exactly the same as the last one. I shouldn't have to explain it again, so I'm not going to. And now what we're going to do in here is simply detect whether the person that we've clicked on is a player. If so, remove some health. Actually, not just a player, whether it's just a humanoid, we're going to deduct some health from the humanoid. So first of all, we need to check whether there's a humanoid in the model. So, well, first of all, in case you've clicked on some miraculous coincidence, clicked on the bullet just as it's disappearing, if not hit dot parent, then return. This is extremely unlikely, bearing on impossible. We're going to include it anyway because we're smart and we don't want anything bugging out ever, even though there'll be a million of bugs that Roblox will cause by itself. But anyway, we're now going to check whether it's got a humanoid. So local humanoid is equals, well, actually I haven't explained this to you yet. To detect what the mouse has clicked on, we'll go back to here. There's actually called hit right here. It's actually called hit. It's almost it's actually called hit. We click here and it says the position of where, no, it's not hit. Target, that's the one. It's what the object that the mouse is pointing to. It will be the instant. So if it's pointing on the left leg, it will be the target will be the left leg, for example. So we're going to go here, and presumably the mouse has been pointing towards something. If it hasn't, it will be nil. So we're going to have to check whether it's not nil. If mouse.target, then that will check whether it's not nil. Now we need to check whether the thing that it's a parent of has a humanoid inside. So we're hitting in the parent, its parent has a humanoid inside it. So local humanoid equals mouse. Oops. Mouse.target. I put hit.parent there, didn't I? Mouse.target. Let's not do that. Let's completely ignore my brilliance. Now mouse.target dot parent find first child humanoid. Remember, find first child will return nil if the thing inside it, in this case humanoid, is not found within the target's parent. So if humanoid is not found, well, if it is found, then we want to. There's a function humanoid called take damage, which pays which, as it says, takes amount of damage. I'm going to say 50. That's fine. And the good thing about this, instead of just going humanoid.health equals humanoid.health take away 50, this actually pays attention to the force fields which you get when you spawn and can generate. So we want it to pay attention to force fields, so we're going to do that. So this is basically done. We'll just get another debounce, because otherwise this reloading symbol on the mouse will not do any effect at all. So we're going to have reload time was 10, remember, so we're going to have another thing here. The bad thing about this local script and script thing is that the local script will not be synced with the main script, so the wait times may be slightly different, but won't be too much. The reload icons won't be completely accurate, as you're probably aware by when you're trying to use Roblox settings, because they're not synced. Maybe if you're lagging a bit, it might take longer, and so on. But it's accurate enough. So we're going to go local enabled equals true. If enabled, then but we only want it to actually go on cooldown and have the reload if there's a humanoid. So only here enabled equals false, then we'll wait 10. Otherwise we don't really care. It will, if the humanoid is not there, if you haven't clicked on a person, it will completely ignore all of this and then just go straight to enabled equals true at the end. We're not even going to bother with that. We're going to put enabled equals true here. So if enabled is false, it's going to ignore everything. If there's no mouse or target, it won't do any of the unnecessary anything, which will save about a nanosecond of time on the script's end. So that's all we're going to do for now. This is the end of the scripting tutorial for today. I'm not going to be able to test it at the moment. I don't really have time. So thank you for watching this scripting tutorial. Remember, I'm going to post all the details of the contest, which is to send me a minigame. You can send a minigame which is exactly the same as mine, one for 75, or not exactly the same, but different obstacle course with the same script for 750 Robux or 1,000 Robux for a big-ish, big-ish, different-ish minigame, and also the script in the show can send me any model which you have learned how to script by watching the tutorials, and you'll get 200 Robux. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, dislike, whatever, and goodbye.